What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another college ball team overview. I guess that's what I'm calling from now on. So, as you can tell by the title, tonight I'm doing the Wisconsin Badgers, or as I guess you could call them, the second in command in the Big Ten, because we all know that the leader in the Big Ten is my Ohio State Buckeyes. Nobody really has been able to challenge us. Of course, occasionally you've had the Pedo State come out of nowhere, and I'm not saying that we've never lost in the Big Ten, but we've obviously represented the Big Ten. We've won the Big Ten championship the most times out of the other teams. So, looking at the Big Ten title, Big Ten title game since it was established in 2011, of course, that was the year where we were banned from postseason play. We were undefeated, of course, so no doubt we would have been in that game. And I bet we probably would have even won that game. Probably. Well, no, I'm sorry, that was 2012. But yeah, 2011, that was, I believe, the year that we stunk. But still, we didn't have we had Luke Fickell as our coach. I don't even know what was it. Braxton Miller was just coming in as our quarterback. He didn't even start the whole season. I think it was Bowserman or something started the season. But still, for the first 2 years of the Big Ten title game, Ohio State was not involved because, like I just said, 2011, we were hit with the sanctions. The sanctions came out and all that. And then we were banned in 2012. Of course, that was the year that we went undefeated because, of course, we go undefeated and we can't go to a bowl game. We would have most likely been a, national championship team if that would have happened. Because we would have dominated in the Big Ten title game. I mean, Nebraska freaking made the Big Ten title game in 2012, bruh. Nebraska. And they got eviscerated 70-31. It's funny. The 2 years Ohio State was not involved, Wisconsin won both games. Ohio State becomes eligible again. And sure, yeah, in 2013, we lost 34-24. That was a heartbreaker. Yep. But then, guess what? 2014 comes around, and, we beat the crap out of the Badgers, 59-0. And then we missed it again for 2 straight years because of heartbreaking losses. I believe they were the 2 teams that actually made the game instead of us, of course. Against Sparty. I think that was the year that they hit that clutch game-winning field goal, and their kicker's over there running around doing the wheel thing with his arm. And then in 2016, we all remember what happened in that. Another field goal, but this time our field goal was blocked. Yeah. And then after that, we've made it 3 straight years, 2 of which were against the Wisconsin Badgers. In fact, since they went to the East and West Division, because it used to be the Legends and Leaders divisions, Wisconsin has been in all but 2 Big Ten title games. Yeah. And of course, they haven't won one. They haven't won a Big Ten title game since 2012. It's kind of funny. But anyways, looking at Wisconsin's football history, they're a very storied, very historic program. They do have 1 national title, according to the Wikipedia page. It was all the way back in 1942. And they actually do have 2 unclaimed national titles, one in 1906 and 1928. Yeah, 14 conference titles and 5 division titles. And then, 2 Heisman winners, 32 consensus All-Americans. Pretty good. But yeah, they've been playing college ball since 1892. So 128 years. That's crazy. They have a record of 710, 494, and 52. They actually gained a win. So their adjusted record is 711, 493, and 52. And they have played in the Western and Big Ten conferences. And of course, like every other college team, they've been an independent. They have 14 conference championships, like I mentioned. They are 16 and 15 in bowl games. So 31 bowl games, that's really good. They have been ranked in the AP poll in the preseason 28 times and 26 times in the final AP poll. And then they have been ranked a total of 393 weeks altogether. And of course, they play at Camp Randall Stadium, capacity 80,321, and that is located in Madison, Wisconsin. So, like always, we're going to go all the way back to when they first joined the Big Ten, and we're going to go through their history. They joined the Big Ten in 1953, and their coach was Ivy Williamson. As he was his third to last year with the Badgers. They went 6-2-1, 7-2, and 4-5. And then they brought in Milt Brun. Brun? Is that an H or that's an H? Brun. Nice. He went 1-5-3. 1956, followed by 6-3, 7-1, 7-3, 4-5, 6-3, 8-2, 5-4, 3-6 in 1964, 2-7-1, 3-6-1, and then they decided to let him go. So they bring in John, who's this guy? Coda, whatever. And this dude, bro, this dude pulled a Hugh Jackson. In his first 20 games, he went 0-19-1. This dude did not win a single freaking game in his first 2 years as the Badgers head coach. And then in his final year, he went 3-7. This dude went 3-27 as the Wisconsin Badgers head coach. Boy, that's some Hugh Jackson stuff right there. Oh my God. 3-27. I'm sorry, no. It was 3-26-1. Can't forget about the tie. But still, that's freaking insane. Wow. That's crazy. But yeah, they get rid of him. They bring John Jardine. And he goes 4-5-1 in 1970, 4-6-1 in 1971. They go 4-7 2 straight years, 7-4, and then back down to mediocrity with a 4-6-1 in 75, 5-6 in 76, another 5-6 in 77, 5-4-2 in 78, 4-7 in 1979. So just a whole lot of mediocrity. The Badgers were oozing mediocrity. And by the way, and then, I'm sorry, no, they got rid of Jardine and then brought in Dave McClain in 1978. But still, they're oozing mediocrity. And 5-4-2 in McClain's first year, 4-7 in 1979, and then 4-7 again in 1980. And then what do you know? They finally win 7 games. They go to a bowl game, the Garden State Bowl in 1981, and they lose. The next year, 7-5, Independence Bowl berth, they win. Then they go 7-4, no bowl game. Then in 1984, they go 7-4-1, go to the Hall of Fame Classic, they lose. Then in McClain's final year, they go 5-6. So it's literally just a whole roller coaster. They'd be mediocre, and then they finally get good, and then they just go right back down to mediocrity. Oh, my God. And then, yeah, 5-6 in his final year, 85. 86 comes up. They bring in it. Was this Jim Hills? Heil? Oh wow! And in his 1 year as head coach, they go 3-9. And then they bring in Don Morton. And he went 3 years. He won 6 games. Wow. Yeah, what was it? 3-29? 28? Bro. 6, 3-8, 1987. Wow. 1-10 in 1988. 2-9, 1989. 6 wins in 3 years. Wow. 6-27. Wow. Okay, Wisconsin. That's oh God, bro. Oh, dang. This is some brown stuff right here. Ooh. So then, all that, then they bring in Barry Alvarez. And in his first year, 1990, they go 1-10. Oh, fantastic. Then they go 5-6, 5-6. Oh, wow. They might actually have something. And then they go 10-1-1 in 1993. 10 wins. In fact, looking at their record, they did not have 10 wins like to that point since they joined the Big Ten. That was the most wins I think they've had ever. Yeah. I'm literally looking at the records. I don't think they ever accumulated 10 wins before that year. Bro. That's insane. And they go to the Rose Bowl and they get the win in 93. That can't be right. 1993 was their first double-digit win season. They're capping. That can't be right. I gotta be tripping. Bro. Dude, there's no way. That's freaking crazy. Oh my God, it's legit. 1993 was their first double-digit win season. They won 9 games 100 times, could never get to 10. That's nuts. Damn. Wow. Unless my eyes are fooling me. Bro, that's insane. Wow. But anyways, yeah, they go 10-1, winning the Rose Bowl. And then in 1994, they were aided by, I guess, something that went down. Let's see what happened in 1994. Let's see what happened. 1994. Let's see. Okay, where are you at? Oh, yeah, they had a forfeit win over Sparty. Ooh. Okay, then. So they got a good forfeit win over Sparty. I'm sure Badger fans enjoyed that one. It's always good to get a forfeit win over a rival. But yeah, 1994. They get a nice help on there, so they go 8-3-1. Then they go 4-5-2. 95, 96, they go 8-5. Winning the Cooper Bowl. Copper Bowl? Stupid. Wow. 8-5 in 1997. Lost in the Outback Bowl. And then they win 11 games in 1998. Go to the Rose Bowl, get a win. Then they go back to the Rose Bowl in 99, 10-2 with Barry Alvarez. Winning the Rose Bowl. Okay, so that's a nice end to the 1990s. And then in 2000, they head to the Sun Bowl after an unenforced season. Barry Alvarez gets them a win there. 2001, they go 5-7. no bowl berth, unfortunately. And fun fact, that was the last time they missed a bowl game to this day. Now, 2002, they would go 8-6. Literally, Barry Alvarez would be there for only a couple more years. They win in the Alamo Bowl. 2003, they go 7-6, losing the Music City Bowl. 2004, they go to the Outback Bowl. They lose. 2005, and Alvarez's last year. Bielema would be their next head coach after Alvarez leaves. But Alvarez would lead them to 10-3. They go to the Capital One Bowl. They get the win. In comes Brett Bielema, and he gets them a 12-1 record in 2006. They go to the Capital One Bowl, and they win. Then they go 9-4. They lose in the Outback Bowl. Then 7-6 in 2008. They lose in the Champs Sports Bowl. Then they return to the Champs Sports Bowl in 2009. After going 10-3, they win. And then they go to the Rose Bowl 3 straight years after a 11-2 season in 2010? Yeah, 2010, 11-2, lost in the Rose Bowl. 2011, 11-3, lost in the Rose Bowl. 12-2, for some reason, it has them still keeping Barry Alvarez. They must have kept him on as like an assistant or something, because Bielema would actually go 8-5, and then Alvarez would take over, and they would lose in the Rose Bowl in 2012. I don't know what happened there. That's weird. Okay. Then Gary Anderson would step in, 9-4 in 2013, lost in the Capital One Bowl. And then Gary Anderson would go 10-3 in 2014, and he'd be let go. And guess who? Barry Alvarez would return again, and they would win the Outback Bowl. And then Paul Chryst would be brought in, and he's there to this day. And they've had a crazy amount of success with him, as 10-3 in 2015, winning the Holiday Bowl. Then they win the Cotton Bowl in 2016. After with an 11-3 season, they go 13-1 in 2017, and they win in the Orange Bowl. 2018, they go 8-5. They win the Pinstripe Bowl, and then this past season they go 10-4, and they lose in the Rose Bowl, of course, to Oregon. So yeah, that's their football history. Pretty storied. I still can't believe that. I actually thought that was something that I'd never saw before. I thought my eyes were deceiving me. They literally have been around for how long? They've been around 128 years. It took them until 1994. No, 93 to win 10 games. Where I'm literally looking through their wins again. All I see is single digits. They won 9 games several times. They could not get into the double digits, bro. That's insane. Like, I've never seen that before. Granted, a lot of these schedules, they didn't have double-digit games. But still, that's insane. That's insane. My dog can't even believe it. But anyways, let's take a look at their schedule. As last year, they started off the season with a 49-zip beatdown over USF. And then they crushed Central Michigan 61-0. So the first 2 weeks, they did not allow a single point. Then they come off their bye week, week 3, against the team up north. And they beat them pretty convincingly, 35-14. Then they escape against Northwestern, 24-15. They blast Kent State, 48-zip. Then they blow out Sparty, 38-zip. So, again, 2 straight games of not allowing a point. And then they lose to Illinois by 1 point. Was it a missed field goal, I believe, as time was expiring. I remember hearing about that game. Yeah, that was crazy. Then they come to the shoe, and we put that boot on their ass. We double moonwalk that ass. Shout out to Philly 500, by the way. But yeah, we absolutely spanked them, 38-7. My dog is just going nuts right now. I think someone's walking their dog outside. Of course, he'll be quiet all day, and then I start doing this, and he starts stupid dog guy. But anyways, they had a bye week, and off that bye week, they would have narrowly escaped Iowa by 2 points. Then they would beat Nebraska 37-21. They beat Purdue 45-24. Then they take care of Minnesota 38-17. Enter the Big Ten title game against Ohio State. And I'm sure you guys watched the Big Ten title game live stream, but I saw there's like a video out there of this one football player. He's like, they had us in the first half. Well, they literally had us in the first half. And then second half, we came out there and we took care of business. 34-21, Buckeyes got the dub. So, yeah. And then they go to the Rose Bowl and they lose by 1 point again to Oregon. So that's their season from last year. Let's take a look and see what they got on their plate this year. So they start off their season with Indiana. Okay, not a bad start at home against Indiana. That should be a dub. Then you got Southern Illinois. Again, pretty winnable game there. Then you got Appalachian State. That's a team you should never sleep on. Just ask the team up north. And speaking of the team up north, they will play them in Ann Arbor, week 4. Then they play Notre Dame at Lambeau. That should be a great game. Then they have Minnesota at home. Then they have a bye week. Then they have a stretch of very winnable games here of Maryland, Illinois, Northwestern, Purdue, Nebraska, and Iowa. So they do not have Ohio State on their schedule this year. I think, no cap here, not lying at all, I think Wisconsin could very well go undefeated. But then again, if they do have any games that they could fall short in, Notre Dame is definitely one. We'll see what the team up north looks like. Who knows what they're going to be doing? But they're always tough, especially in the state up north. But yeah, you have Notre Dame. That's a tough game for them. Minnesota is looking good. I mean, at least they looked good last year. We'll see if they can build off of last year. That could have just been, one of those lightning strike years where they just come out of nowhere, and then after that, they just completely fall out again. It's like they have that one big year where they remind you, it's like, oh yeah, Minnesota's still around. That's right. I forgot about them. But yeah, I mean, don't sleep on Maryland either. That should be a winnable game for the Badgers, but again, who knows what this team will look like. Maryland's got some promise, though. Then you have Illinois. They beat you last year. I'm sure you're going to be wanting revenge, especially, what is that, homecoming? I believe that's what the HC stands for next to it. Then you have Northwestern, Purdue, and Nebraska, which, yeah. And then you have Iowa. So if there's any games that they're going to probably lose, I could see team up north, Notre Dame, Minnesota, and then Iowa. But also don't sleep on a team like Maryland or Illinois. Especially, it's kind of funny. They play Illinois on Halloween. That's a pretty scary matchup if you ask me, because Illinois is the kind of team that could sneak up on you, especially after what happened last year. Although I'm pretty sure Wisconsin's going to make sure that doesn't happen again. So like we always do, we're going to go 5 years into the future. So 2025, we're going to go 2021 now and see who they play in the non-con games. Next year, 2021, they got Eastern Michigan, Notre Dame, and Army. Ooh, they play Army? Ooh, that's going to be a good one. Army's always been a kind of team to watch out for. 2022, Washington State, so Wazoo, New Mexico State, and Illinois State. It's the year of the states. Illinois State, New Mexico State, and Washington State. All three are at home. Wow. If this schedule is right, they literally start off the year with 4 straight home games. Lucky you. 23, let's see who they got there. They have Buffalo, Wazoo, and Georgia Southern. Wow. 2024. Whoops. Come on. My mouse is acting up again. Let's go 2024. They have Western Michigan, South Dakota, and then they play Alabama. You mean to tell me Alabama is not playing well, they usually play cupcakes, but they actually added Wisconsin? In Wisconsin. How often does Bama travel up north for a non-con game? That's not like Georgia or, in like a warm state. Like they're going up north. They're going all the way up to Wisconsin. Oh, wow. That's a first. Never heard of that from Alabama. Wow. But yeah, it's a pretty good non-con schedule there. And then in 2025, they will have North Texas, a return matchup against Bama. And I believe that is actually it for the moment. Yep, that is it for the moment. I'm sure they're going to add one more, but that'll be interesting. I don't even know, man. They only have 2. Wow. Yeah, we'll see what they do with that. But that's crazy, man. They have Alabama coming up. Ooh, they ain't messing around. It's kind of like us playing Oregon. We still have Texas coming up a while down the road. We have Georgia in the 2030s, bro. Look, a decade down the line. We have Notre Dame. We have, I think, BC, I heard? I think I saw Boston College was on our schedule at some point. Yeah. But yeah, when it comes down to who I think is going to be in the Big Ten title game again this year, I think it's going to be the same 2 characters. I think it's going to be Ohio State and Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin gets no more than 1 or 2 losses. But then again, they could lose 2 or 3 games, and that could put them out, especially if Minnesota is back to what they were doing last year. But honestly, who knows what's going to happen? I would love to see another team like Minnesota make the Big Ten title game because, add some fresh blood to it. But most likely it's going to be Ohio State and Wisconsin again. So, yeah. See what the chat's saying. Wow. Of course, Browns lover is always in the chat, but figured I'd come on here. Boy, we've been going for about a half an hour. Okay, that'll do it for that. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up. And I'm probably going to be doing these every 3 days. That sounds about right. Add a little bit more time between these. You're probably going to like who I got to do next because I think I know, and don't worry, guys, I'm going to be doing the team up north. They're going to be like probably the last team I do. But I think the next team I'm going to do is probably going to be from, I'm thinking the ACC or the Pac-12. So we'll see who I decide to do. But until then, I'm Crazy Dog 99. Shout out to Browns lovers, the only person that was in the chat. And I'll see you guys probably whenever the Browns make news. But yeah, Virgin Islands A&M. It's not even a team. KBO. Bro, KBO is on way too early for me. The only game I really watch is when it's on at 1 a.m. Other than that, I don't get up early enough to watch it. But yeah, I'm hearing a lot of buzz about Everson Griffin. I'm gonna probably wait a little bit and see if we actually offer him. I heard that he's gonna try and visit. So when players are allowed into the facilities, I'm sure that's when visits are gonna start, and that could be when Griffin starts doing visits. So don't be surprised if we offer Everson Griffin. And honestly, I would take Griffin over Clowney. Cheaper, and he has more production. But yeah, he's more of a pass rusher. And he's not a low key, he's not a low key, selfish little prick. Damn. Clowney probably like, bro, why are you calling me a prick, bro? Well, dude, we offered you the most money that you've ever gotten, but I don't want to go to Cleveland. Okay. Yeah. I know Titans fans are probably thinking he's going to go to Tennessee. Watch him go to Tennessee. I saw Taylor Lewan freaking tweeting at him a few days ago. Honestly, I hope he goes to Tennessee. That'd be interesting. I don't know where he's going to go. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with the pass rusher situation. But that is going to wrap it up for this live stream, guys. And I will see you whenever the Browns make a move, or the Cavs do something, or the Indians does any news about the Indians, which I've heard that another proposal has been presented where it's 89 games, full prorated salary, expanded playoffs, all that good stuff. But I just wish they would get to freaking playing baseball. I should be sitting here watching the Indians. In fact, let's see who the Indians should be playing today. Yeah. Let's see who the Indians should be playing today. But yeah, tomorrow is the MLB draft. No, I'm not streaming it because honestly, the thing with the MLB draft is you may never see the player that we draft play with the team. It happens all the time. Players that get drafted get traded. But we'll see what happens, right? But let's see who we should have been playing today if the games were going on. All righty. So if the schedule ever decide to pop up, just taking its good old time. All right, so today we would have been starting a series with the White Sox. Okay. Yep, we would have been starting a series with the White Sox. Okay. Now, I don't know how they're going to do this schedule thing if and when they get back going, but if they go, let's say they start at the end of July, this is what our schedule would have looked like. So let's say they start July 31st. One game against the White Sox there. I don't think they're going to start with this schedule because that'd be hella awkward. You'd have the White Sox for 3 games. You'd have the Twins for 3 games. The White Sox again for 3 games. 2 against the Padres. 3 against the Mariners. 3 against the A's. 4 against the Kansas City Royals. 3 against the Diamondbacks at home. 3 against the Yankees. And then another series against the Twins. 4 games. 3 against the Rockies. 3 against the Twins again. 3 against the Angels, and then you'd have the Tigers, Mariners, and White Sox. Nice little home stretch and then a road stretch. Then you'd have Toronto to end the September. So that'd be your schedule. Now, obviously, it ain't going to be like that. They'll probably they could, go from the start of the season. So we probably would be playing the Tigers, maybe. I don't know how they're going to do it, but yeah, man, we should literally be getting ready for pretty much the All-Star break and stuff. Or we'd be like a month away from the All-Star break. But obviously, there will be no All-Star break. So, yeah, whatever. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this live stream, guys. I really enjoyed doing this. I'm going to keep doing this until the end of the month. And then probably like mid-July, I'm going to do my conference previews. So that'll be fun. Can't wait to do those. I'll be doing Power 5 conferences, Group of 5, and then Independence. So that'll be fun. Hope you guys like those. But I'll be doing these things every 2 or 3 days, depending on how I feel or whatever. But, yeah, I figured I'd spread them out a little bit more. So, yeah. Hope you guys like this live stream, and I'll see you guys in a couple days. Were you in Butcher's Black and Patriots after that? Yeah, I was there. But I'll see you guys whenever. So I'm out.